Hi everyone, this is Elisa from Anaya's Toy Box Crochet, and I'm here to tell you what I've been up to. Thank you all for coming. I love showing off my makes, and I'm so happy you like seeing them too. You can find me on social media as Anaya's Toy Box. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, and Ravelry, and in case you want links, they are linked down below. Okay, so I'm home. Take a look. I'm home. This is my usual background, and yeah, I was away in Montreal for a month and a half, and I'm back. We came back last Sunday, so it's been an entire week since we came back. I did not film before this because, you know, when my husband's working from home, it's just hard to do it in between his meetings, so I just avoid it and I just wait till the weekend. So it's weekend now, and I can tell you what I've been up to. So the first thing I'm going to show you, I do not have anymore. It's up here. I took some scrap yarn with me to Montreal, and I made a little octo with it, and I gave it to somebody. I don't remember who, but there's a little octo here. It's green, made with not scrap, more like working yarn, but almost scrap because there's very little of it left. And yeah, it was Hobie. Oh, one of the Hobie yarns. It was an expensive one. Yeah, so I forget which one it is. What's it called? I'm never gonna buy that yarn again, so it doesn't matter because it's way too expensive for what it is. All right, then I also made this bag. I started this bag for International Granny Square Day, and I used a pattern by Bago Day, which was it'll be linked down below, but it was you know, if you see, there's a flower in the side, and it's done asymmetrically. Is it asymmetrically? I don't think that's the right word, but it's done. It's beautiful. It's a mitered granny square. Anyways, I made 8 of them and turned it into that bag, which I don't have anymore. So I can't show it to you live, but that's what the bag looks like. So I used leftover yarns, and I used creme cotton. So I used the universal batik cotton batik, and I used the colorful part of our caramel lava cake, and I used the I can't see it in front of me, so I can't remember the colors. But I used the creme cotton in the colorway lilac or dusty lilac, and this is what I got, and I hope you like it. But anyways, it's kind of hard to talk about something when it's not in front of you. So I'm just going to move on to the next project I did, and that is this. This is the next one I finished. I started other stuff, but this is the only one I finished. And I finished it because I was starting to unpack, and I took out all my little scraps, and I realized I don't have space to put it in. I did not finish weaving in ends, and I did not cut off all the ends inside yet. But this is the basket I made so I could have a, what's it called? Like, I had too much of it. I had way too many scraps. It was, I needed to, you know, work on this so that I had space for the new scraps that I brought back from Montreal. Although some of the Montreal scraps are in here, like this green right here, this green, that's the green I used for, this is the leftovers from the octo. And this blue over here was one I took to Montreal too. I used it for something. Oh, the Bear by Marissa Toys. So there are some of the Montreal toys in here, the Montreal yarn in here, but anyways, it's done. I just need to do the finishing. I'll do it soon. But that's all I finished since I came home. I did start 3 projects, and I will show you this one. This one? Yeah, this one first. So this one is a shawl. It's by Carmen Heffernan or Annie Designs. I think she does have a tutorial on this. I'm not sure though, I didn't check on her channel. But it's you could go to Ravelry. I did buy the pattern, but you can go to her website and check it out if you want it. It's free. It's a 1-row repeat. I love her patterns, and I'm making this. Isn't it pretty? It is a very easy pattern, and I am using this yarn. Not this yarn. I need to talk about this yarn. This is Plassard. This was gifted to me. It's gorgeous, isn't it? This yarn was gifted to me by Chantal when we met up in Montreal. It is 50% cotton and 50% acrylic, and it is the Plassard Ravinala yarn, and it's gorgeous. I love it, but oh my goodness.
It looks a lot like
I have used...
Looks a lot like the shawl that you showed off in your brunswick.
Oh, okay.
That shawl without color, that one.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Well, let me see if I could find it. No, I can't find it. I must have thrown it away. I thought I was saving it for you guys. I am using a 4.5mm hook for this. And this is a, it doesn't say, but it's like a 1 or 2 weight yarn. It's the same weight as those Hobie cakes are. And they say 2 for those ones, so 2. So I had a lot of trouble with this yarn. I was actually making, I started this using this yarn in Montreal, and I was actually making a different project. But the yarn, when I pulled it, it kept, it's not doing it anymore, but it's coming out beautifully like this. But before, it was coming out like one was longer than the other, and it was buckling, and it was getting really annoying with the more complicated pattern that I was working on. And I frogged it, and I started with a more simpler pattern, which is this. I have used this yarn well, not this particular yarn, but yarn like this many times. As you can see, it is 4 strands of yarn just held together. There's not twisted.
Weren't you doing that with your basket?
Yeah, okay. They're not twisted. There's just 4 strands of yarn, not twisted together. You just hold it together and you work with it. And I have made many shawls with yarn like this. But for some reason, this ball of yarn was giving me a lot of problems. I kept on, coming across the point where one was like, I was holding it like this. I was constantly having to fix the yarn and bring the 4 strands of yarn together again. I don't know why it did that. It's still, like right now, I'm at a point where it's coming out nice, but then later on, it might be that it's not coming out so nice again, and I have to fix it. But because this is a 1-row repeat, it is less annoying to fix it. It's like more doable, because then when I was doing the more complicated shawl, it was getting very frustrating having to fix the yarn before crocheting and trying to remember everything. So this is working out better for me. I did frog it. Frogging it was not fun, but I frogged it. I dealt with the yarn barf. You could see this is where I had cut the yarn to frog it, and I have gone beyond that already. It is a very beautiful colorway. I wish actually that I started from the outside and I had the orange on the bottom, because the smaller part, every row the yarn gets, you use more yarn, and I kind of would have liked to see more of the orange. And I always say that. I always say I want to see more of the brighter color, but the brighter color is usually on the outside. You have to pull outside, and I just don't. I don't know why. I did last shawl I made. I pulled from the outside and I made that beautiful red shawl. But anyways, this is going to be mostly browns and peach. The peach is on the bottom. I've already started the browns. I'm actually on the 3rd color change right now. Like, this is 1 on the bottom where you see a lot of, 2, and I just started the 3, which is right here. And it is a very pretty shawl. And it is very pretty yarn, and I wish I had enough to make a wearable out of this yarn, because this yarn is so soft. I do really like this yarn, but I don't. So here it is, my shawl. I'm loving it. It's again a pattern by Carmen Heffernan. I love her patterns. I have actually stopped using the free patterns because I use so much that, I need to support her by paying for the pattern. But there it is. check her out. I have made so many of her shawls, and she makes it for like most of her shawls, including that one, is meant for one skein. Like if you buy that one indulgent 100 gram skein of yarn, her patterns are perfect for that, because it's very lacy, her patterns, and once you finish it up, it'll make a nice small shawl, and you used up 100 grams and you was able to do that, so that's amazing. All right, so the next one I will not show you, except for the bag, is right here. This is the next pattern I started. I will not tell you what's in here. I will not tell you what colors are in there, because I'm planning to do this one show it off during the seasonal Yarny YouTube hop. But here it is. I've started it. I've gotten pretty far in, not near finished, but pretty far in, and I'll show you this bag again next week. Hopefully I'll be saying this is an FO that you can't see. But anyways, here it is, my lemon bag that I made that is really not good, but whatever. Yeah, so the last project I want to show you is I want Amigurumi Wars June edition, and it was Leslie of the Corn who hosted Amigurumi Wars, and I won that month's the prize, which was a $25 gift certificate to Etsy, and I bought 5 patterns there. I already showed you one, which was the bear that I showed you in my last video, and this is another one, and this is the it's also a bear. It is the bear Juno Bear by Amalu Designs.
That's super cute.
You there?
Yeah.
And I did adjust the pattern, the arm pattern, so that I need to crochet it. I could crochet it on instead of sew it on. And I have finished both legs. Bye, head. I finished both legs. Thank you, sweetheart. And I finished the tail. And all I have left is the ears and to sew it together. What do I think of this pattern? It is a very, very cute pattern. I actually, with that money, bought patterns that I'd been admiring for a while, except for one. One of them I couldn't buy, so I just went to Marissa Toys again and bought another pattern. But for the most part, there are patterns that I've been looking at for a while. And okay, so the thing about me is I have made a very firm decision not to collect patterns anymore. Of my collection, I have one left to make, because I have spent the last year and this year, by the end of this year, I will have finished all my stashed patterns. I have decided I am not stashing patterns anymore. It makes me feel guilty. Like, it's about me, not about anyone else. It makes me feel guilty knowing that I have these beautiful, wonderful patterns that I loved enough to buy, and I haven't worked on it. It makes me feel guilty. And so I'm not stashing patterns anymore. So while I have been working on my stashed patterns this year and last year, anytime I bought a pattern, I worked it up right away. I am a little nervous about the fact that I bought 5 patterns at one time, and I need to work it up. So this is number 2. You'll probably see all of them. Hopefully you'll see all of them. I also have a book I bought just before I left, and I didn't take to Montreal with me, and I haven't worked up anything on that either. So in the next few weeks, you should see all 5 of these patterns and some patterns from that book. I don't think I'll work on any other amigurumi unless it's to use up yarn. But anyways, I bought 5 patterns, and this is pattern number 2. And I am really loving it. I've been looking at Amalu Designs for a very, very long time, and I haven't bought it because I would tell myself, oh, these bears there, or this bunny, or this whatever is really, really cute, but you still have 15, 16 stash patterns, so you shouldn't buy it. I don't have 15, 16 stash patterns anymore. I have 1, and I had a gift card, so I bought it. I am a little upset. This would have been finished, but I got upset with myself because this is not unheard of, what I'm about to tell you, but sometimes I read the pattern wrong. And I find out about it later, and then I fix it. So with this one, with the arms, I read the pattern wrong. you're supposed to work up to a certain stage, you do the decreases, and then you do 2 extra rows, and then you close up the top. That's what the pattern says. I made this arm first, and this arm first, and I worked it up, and I got to the last decrease, and I closed up the arm, and I was done with it. Then I started this arm. I went all the way up there, was looking at the pattern, and I saw, oh, I missed 2 extra rows on this arm. And then I realized, because of the color changes, I'm using retro stripes on this. Because of the color changes, I will have to undo this entire arm to fix this arm. And I chose not to do that. Instead, I just ended this without doing the 2 extra rows. And now the arms are kind of short. And that is annoying. And while I won't say I regret the decision, because I really didn't want to undo this arm and do the 2 extra rows, I do regret the decision. I was angry with myself, and I just put it aside after I added the arms onto the body, and I didn't work on it, and it would have been finished if I had. But anyways, yesterday I picked it up, and I finished the other parts, which was this little frilly part here, which is the collar. I finished the legs, I finished one tail. I still have 2 ears left to go, and I'll be putting it together, and it'll be a finished object next week. But for right now, this is what it is. I am a little upset about the two missing rows of the arm and the arms not being long enough, but it is what it is. So this is, by the way, the white I'm using is Line Brand's Pound of Love. I have never ever used that yarn before. This is the first time. That big ball of yarn was always intimidating to me because I make amigurumi, and how many amigurumis will you make to finish up that yarn? So I never bought it before, and then I found it on sale on Amazon, so I just got it. And I figured white is a good color because you use a little bit of it in lots of patterns. It's okay. I prefer Premier Basics as the value acrylic. I really do prefer Premier Basics over every other thing. And oh my gosh, Red Heart Super Saver is probably my least favorite. Not probably, is my least favorite value yarn. I do not like working with it. I do not have any, like, Cinnamon Stitches is always apologizing for not liking value stripes for a Red Heart Super Saver. She's always apologizing for it, saying she has skin problems. I don't have skin problems. It rips up her skin, and that's awful. But I feel it's really sad that she has to say, this is my opinion, and I need to apologize for it. Because she doesn't need to apologize for having an opinion. I don't need to apologize for having an opinion either. Red Heart Super Saver is my least favorite yarn to work with. No apologies. It just is. And if you love it, that's your opinion, and that's great. My opinion is it's my least favorite, but oh my gosh, the colorways in Super Saver, I guess for me, because I used to paint before, and I would make colors out of the paints I have. I wasn't satisfied with this color. I'd add a little bit of this color or that color and make it the perfect color.
You can tell by the background.
Yeah. Whereas with yarn, you can't mix colors and make the perfect color. So with me, when I picture a project and I have a color in mind, it is a very specific colorway. And most of the time, I could always find it in Super Saver. In Red Heart Super Saver, their colors are to die for. They have the most amazing colorway in the exact right shade. Red Heart Super Saver. I have never not been able to find the exact shade of color that I wanted in Red Heart Super Saver because their colors are amazing. I just wish their yarn was softer. I don't buy their yarn even if their colors are amazing and the perfect colorway and the one I was looking for. I decide, okay, I'll buy Line Brand and have it a few shades off what I was picturing. Or nowadays I actually just picture the ones that I use. Like I know what the paint box color looks like, and I know what the Line Brand color looks like, and I know what the basics looks like. And so I don't have that, when I think of the color, I think of those brands. But when I first started, it was always, I had a specific color and I found it in Red Heart and I wouldn't buy it because I didn't like Red Heart. No apologies for not liking it. That is my opinion, and I am entitled to having an opinion, even if I have a YouTube channel. So this colorway is one I couldn't resist. I mean, it is gorgeous. I was really excited when the neon stripes came out from Premiere, and then I was watching Llama Mama Kayla, and Llama Mama Kayla showed 2 projects that she made with this, not exactly, they're not the exact same color, but this type of colorway, where this is the neon stripes and the equivalent to neon stripes in the Premiere neon stripes, and this is retro stripes. I don't know what I just said. This is retro stripes, and there's a color similar in neon stripes. And she showed 2 projects that she made with it, and I gotta tell you, Red Heart's got it as far as color. Yes, the colors are prettier in the neon stripe, but the fading is much more prettier in the Super Saver. So I got the Super Saver instead of the neon stripes when I bought this, because I just loved the fading. I do not like working with this yarn, but I got it because of the colorway. It's gorgeous. The way it fades into each other, into each color, is just gorgeous. But anyways, I got them, and I'm making this bear out of it, and I hope it turns out cute. We'll see. Again, no apologies for not liking Super Saver. It's just my opinion, and I am entitled to an opinion even if I have a YouTube channel. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got to show you. You want to say something?
She's been teaching me how to crochet for a bit.
Yes. So my son showed interest when we found, I beta showed out this, but in Dollarama we found crochet kits, and he wanted to get it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not too into crochet kits, because every time I got a crochet kit, I haven't liked the yarn that's in it, and I kind of feel like finding my own pattern and making it with the yarn that I like is better, because yes, I am picky about my yarn. I don't like Red Heart Super Saver. But so he's been learning how to chain, and he's been working on that, and anytime he makes something, I'll definitely show it off. He's 8, by the way, just in case you're wondering what is going on with my hijab. But anyways, that's all I got to show you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe. Bye.
Bye.